Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm in my workshop in Feltre with this beautiful boxwood.
Oh yeah.
Boxwood is a very interesting species to make bonsai. Here in Italy we have good areas where we can find good trees. In general, in Europe, we can say there are two main variety of boxwood. What we call northern box is this one, with kind of a smooth, more smooth bark, very beautiful deadwood and nice leaves. And we have also the southern box. Most of all, this southern box grows in the southern part of France. The bark is very rough, especially when the tree gets old. Also beautiful deadwood. The difference between the two is that southern box is easy to make a live line, differently from the northern box with more smooth bark that we can create some live line, but they don't really thick up like they do in the other variety. Also, southern box has a little bit smaller leaves, look almost like a wild olive if you look far, but the leaves are very small, beautiful, and also it has very hard deadwood. This is a northern box with a lot of character. You can see we have an interesting hollow trunk with beautiful old deadwood. The tree is strong, is ready to be styled, and the goal for today is to give a nice first styling to this tree in order to highlight the quality of the deadwood, the quality of the trunk, and create a nice and compact tree. Boxwood is generally a bush, so we can find this beautiful thick trunk, and generally the trees are very compact. Sometimes they grow in rocky area or always inside of the forest under other trees. They like kind of a half shade position in nature, differently from the southern box that is in full sun all the time. So when we grow as a bonsai, we can adjust the need of the tree to be exposed most of the time to direct sun. So as you can see, this tree has a lot of flower. I always like to remove all the flower before I work, or even if I have a styled tree, I remove the flower so during the growing season the tree will grow more, because it's not using and wasting energy for flowering. So the first work will be remove all the flowers and then we start cleaning and analyzing the structure for the future bonsai. We just finished to remove all the flowers. This is very important before the wiring, so at the end of the work the tree will be free and ready to push in spring. Now the next step will be starting from the lower branch. We're gonna wire everything up. Basically there is no selection to do in terms of thick branches, because we have more or less everything in the good position. We have some extra branches inside that probably we will be removing to just keep the structural one and create the first structure of this buxus. On the buxus, as an evergreen tree, we generally are a little bit more geometrical at the first styling. We don't style it like a deciduous tree, like a carpinus, but even not like a pine. But the pads are a little bit more flat and straight, and then in time, with the very generous vegetation of the buxus, we can build beautiful pads and then keep maturing the tree. But at this time, we need to create a nice and strong branches structure. So we will do the wiring using aluminium, because the buxus has not a very thick bark, so we don't want to damage the cambium, and then we will start to position all the branches. William and Samurai just finished the complete wiring of these buxus. They really wire every single branch in order to create nice pads and volumes and start the process of this tree to become a beautiful bonsai. I also lifted up a little bit by putting some wedges. I want to show a little bit more the frontal part of this uro that is beautiful with very old deadwood and the live line. Plus, I need also to verticalize a little bit more the apex, otherwise we have this feeling of the tree falling back. Now, Samurai will start setting the main line of the first branch, and starting from that one and then the right one, we're gonna create our shape up to the top. We have to remember that this is not a conifer, even if it is a very extreme Yamadori. We can go a little bit down with some branches, but we want to create beautiful and nice volumes. As you can see, the first pad of the tree is set. We kind of create a little bit dropping on the overall line and a nice volume to really feel the directionality to the left side that is done by this live line transforming to the main branch. And now what we want to do is create a central pad in this position to hide a little bit the transition between the central hollow part and this section of the trunk that is a little bit static. So we want to fill the space. This is a big tree, so we don't want to show all the trunk, but we want to hide the part of the trunk inside of the ramification. Plus, having this pad in this central position will be a nice transition from the right branch to the left branch, and we create this movement and beautiful transition. And now that we have the left and the right lane, we can create the connection with the frontal pad. Samurai is putting down some branches to create the line, and then he will build the volume. As you can see, the pad is in front of the trunk to create a nice green transition between the trunk line and the pad's connection. And we are halfway up, reach the middle section of the tree, creating a nice rhythm between the pads, and also we create some back pads in these two positions, very important to create the third dimension. And then we can keep up the work creating a connection pad from this frontal one to another right one, and then bending down this section here to really highlight the left directionality of the tree connected with this first pad. So now we have also this section done that is really nice and creating a nice dynamism down to this first branch. And finally, we can finish up and work on the apex. So the goal is to create a very nice and round, very squish apex, more or less at this high, following up this left line and the right line. Because it's a buxus, we want to really squish it down to compress the high of the tree and keep focusing on the main lower trunk that is our focal point. And here we are, we just finished the work on this beautiful northern box, putting a little bit of lime sulfur in the inner part of the dead wood to preserve it for a long time. The tree came out pretty nice, good structure. Is, as I said, a little bit coniferous at this time, but already in this next growing season, we will take care to really soften up all the pads, get more volumes, get a little bit more foliage, and also start a little bit reducing the size of the leaves. But for this work, I'm pretty happy that we pass from having like a bush to having a beautiful future bonsai. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you at the next. I want to remember you that I will have an intensive class in August from the 14th to the 24th. So in case you want to participate and come in Italy and study bonsai with me, send me an email and I will give you all the information. Thank you.